Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. We got Nate hiding in the background back here. Got Ben in here. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing great. Um, we had a great night of tractor pulling last night. Uh, it was very entertaining. Uh, Actually, got some decent video. I took a second place in the first round. I think there was 5 or 6 tractors in the class the first round, and I took a first place the second round. I was the only tractor in the class, but it was the best pull I've had all season. I don't know if they didn't switch the sled up or what, but the temperatures were cool. The air was pretty nice, and we were making some horsepower. So yeah, we did good. And now they have a 50-50 drawing. If you guys don't know what that is, you buy tickets, usually $1 a piece or 6 for $5. I bought $10 worth. I buy them every so often. It ain't no big deal. Half the money goes back to the club. I won $46. That's the third time in 20 some years that I've actually hit the 50-50 drawing. So awesome, you know. And I got paid back for the 2 wins, so it's awesome. You know, I had a great night, long night, but a great night. I was talking to Nate off camera there, and I didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning. Got to bed about 3:15 ish, and I was back up at 6 o'clock this morning, and I've been on the go all day. I went to breakfast, went to the grocery store, went to Hobo Freight, went to the hardware store, and where else did I go? A couple other places I can't remember. I was going in and out all day, but had to go to the hardware store because I needed wasp spray. I got wasp in my shit. I was going to mow grass today, but I just couldn't get that done. And I actually shot a cooking video today too. So that's why we had to go to the grocery store.
What'd you have for dinner, Ed? I haven't eaten yet.
What I had for dinner is what my cooking video is. So you'll have to watch Wednesday to find out.
Oh, we got to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben. Actually, I did buy those. I went and looked at them, and I actually bought a set of the rims for the Tugger. They're a 2-piece rim with tubes, so I got brand new tubes to go in them. They do have an extra longer lip on the bead, so hopefully everything seals together. Hey, Ken, how you doing? But excuse me. So yeah, we got a new set of rims for the Tugger, but yesterday afternoon or yesterday midday or whatever, because I left about 2:15 to go to the polls. I was getting ready to put the Tugger on the trailer because it's the last thing it goes on, and I noticed the one back tire looked like it was a little flat. So I grabbed the air hose, started adding air to it. Looked like it was up to pressure. Took the air chuck thing off, and the little brass part of the center of the stem went shooting across the garage, and air started spilling out of the tire. So yeah, I'm having no luck with tires this month. Well, this end of last month, beginning of this month. If you guys remember, I got a flat on the little blue truck. Ran over some big bolt thing, put a pretty big gash in the tire that couldn't be repaired, so I had to buy 2 new tires for that. And then the front tire on the Tugger, now the back tire on the Tugger. But when it happened, I went on Scamazon right away and ordered the bolt-in style, because I've had problems with those little valve stems before. I think they're just bad ones. They're probably cheap ones. I picked them up at the tire shop, and they actually didn't even charge me for them. They're like, "Oh, here, take these nice little short ones." Well, I think they're cheap ones, so I've had trouble with them in the past, leaking and stuff like that. So yeah, so I went on Scamazon and ordered some of the metal bolt-in style ones. So hey, John, how you doing, bud? Definitely stay away from your tires, John. I will gladly stay away from your tires. I wish I could stay away from my tires. But the tires I bought from my little blue truck are, the original size was 245/70 16s, They didn't have the AT tire that I wanted in a 70, so I had to go with a 75. It fills the fender well in nicely, but now it looks like I'm a young hillbilly kid with a jacked up truck with the big tires in the back and the small tires in the front, because the front tires are just all season tires. So we have a couple guys that work like that, just driving around campus. They don't even go off campus very often. It seems like at least once a month, I'm putting a plug or something in one of their tires, or, yeah, an old hillbilly kid. Yeah, exactly. But probably this coming weekend, I'll go get two more, because as you guys know, I buy the Blem tires. There's a defect in the cosmetic of the tire, and I get them for like $115 a piece, something like that. So basically $240. I get two new tires, so I'll probably go this coming weekend and get two more for the front, and then we'll have four matching tires. But I think I'm gonna have to take some donations up. I think I need like a 3-inch lift kit on it, just to make it look right, get it set up a little higher, maybe clearance the tires a little bit. So, oh, hey, Mudster. He got a flat on the rear of his backhoe. It's only flat on one side. Should be round the other three sides. So, yeah. So that's been my kind of week. Just keep plugging along, I guess. So the beginning of this week's supposed to be really nice too. Last night was actually a beautiful night for tractor pulling. I think the high yesterday was like 75 or 78 degrees, better than the 85, 89 degrees we've been having. About midnight, about 10:30, I actually put a jacket on, and then I had a zip up hoodie, and then my fire jacket, it's just a single layer, so it's not even heavy as my hoodie. I had it on for a little bit while I was pulling, and after the pull, and I'm like, I'm chilly, so I put a hoodie back on, but it ended up, when I was getting ready to go home, I looked at the temperature on my phone, and it said it was 52 degrees. So that was chilly, and plus it had a really heavy dew. So, but I took, I don't know if I told you guys, I told Nate, I took a second place, and I think there were 6 tractors in the first round, and I got a first place second round. I was the only tractor in the class, so the other guy that usually pulls in that class, he was tired. He was done. He's like, nah. He goes, you can have it. Go ahead. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll make a test run. And that was the best pull I've made all season, 306 feet. So, hi, Miss Lisa. Hi, Kevin. So yeah, we had a fairly good evening last night. And I took Willie's advice about setting the camera up at the end of the track and just letting it run. It turned out okay. But they have a light tower that is on one side of the track, and then there's lights on the side of the track that I sit on, and if I had the camera set up on the side where it wasn't shooting into the light tower, the flagger was like right in line with the camera and blocked the tractor coming down the track most of the time. And so when I moved it to the other side, where I usually video from, the light tower is up in the corner of the video, and I can't get it out, and the video's kind of grainy, but it is what it is. You can't really see if you know who it is pulling, you can tell, and you can tell when they get close to the camera, but one of these days I'll be big time enough to have a film crew go with me and at least video my class, the class before me and my class, because it gets kind of hard videoing the class before me when I got to get ready to go pull. But it is what it is. So we get the footage we can, and hopefully get good footage of everybody else pulling. That's my main thing.
That's like me, Ed, man. We're always up. We're always working on something, or doing something crazy. But I'm usually the person doing the thing that's crazy, and I can't film it. You know what I mean? I still pay for Epidemic Sound every month, and I do not even use it anymore. So YouTube, you literally cost me money at this point to freaking keep my YouTube channel up.
Well, I'm actually emailing with Epidemic Sound right now to cancel my subscription because I also have it, but my new editing software has lots of music in it, and a lot of it's the same what's on Epidemic Sound. So why should I pay for $20 a month for a music subscription that I don't use? And it says right in their rules, you can continue to use the music that you've paid for in previous videos. You can't use anything that's from the time you cancel your subscription on.
Yeah.
Even if you've downloaded it onto your computer,
you still can't. Yeah.
You can't. But they're telling me that they can copyright it if somebody watches the video after I cancel my subscription. And I'm like, how is that? It's published.
I haven't had a problem with that yet because I'm still making money off of song. Because I actually had quit Epidemic Sound for a couple months and then started it back up. And all those videos, I haven't gotten any demonetization or anything like that yet from them. And I never even, like in my descriptions, I never put it's Epidemic Sound or anything like that. I'd never do that.
No, I don't either. But that's what they're telling me now. And I told them, I'm like, but in the agreement that I signed or clicked on or whatever, when I first got it, it said that, I paid for the subscription when I published the video. So it's good. And they're like, no, that's only for as long as you have the subscription. I'm like, so I went back and read it, and it still says that I should be good. So
it's almost like a small claims thing to where they would they're not going to fight it. They'd have to get a lawyer and it'd cost them more, just tell them I'm taking your money and they're not going to fight it and we'll get away with it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, no, I think what it is YouTube has changed their policy now where you can actually, if you get a copyright warning, a music warning, you can actually go in and they have an AI feature that will mute just that music. The talking or anything else that's around it, other sound, is supposed to still be there.
Is that in studio or?
It's when you upload your video and it comes through with all the checks. If you have one that says hey, there's options. You can go down through and it says mute entire section, or remove sound, all sound, some sound, speaking, or music, or I'm sorry, or copyright. And if you click on remove copyright material, it mutes just that. Supposedly, I haven't never tried it.
Yeah, I haven't got that yet.
But I've seen a couple videos where they put out new features. Every couple of months somebody puts out a video of the new features of YouTube. So, hey Mark, how you doing, buddy? And Uncle Mark and Uncle Mark are both in here. How you guys doing? So I'm not gonna be really worried about it. I'm gonna just tell them I'm done paying for it. You figure $20 a month for 12 months. That's a couple $100 a year.
Trust me, yeah, they already got a lot of my money that I've literally not even used. I've had it for months. You haven't seen a video from me with music in it for 6 months, probably.
I haven't used their service since I got the new editing software, and it's been over a year. And I basically quit or forgot about it. Forgot about the subscription. And I was going through some of my auto pay stuff, and it popped up, and I'm like, Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, Ed, I feel partially responsible for that
Oh,
because I talked you into Epidemic Sound, dude. I totally did, man. When me and you both were first getting into YouTube, I
yeah.
totally pushed it on you. I did. So I
Oh,
apologize for
no,
that.
it's great. I actually like Epidemic Sound. They've got a lot of good music and sound effects and everything else. It's just I don't like have to go to their website, download it onto my computer, and then upload it into my editing software where I can just go in my editing software and it's all right there. And like I said, 90% of it, the stuff that I found on Epidemic Sound is in my editing software.
What's up, Cajun?
What's up, Cajun?
Hey Nate, hey Ed, how y'all doing? Ran a
Doing
little
awesome.
late. My mic couldn't figure out what was the matter. It was unplugged.
I'm actually glad you're here, Cajuns, because now I can back out and go to sleep.
No, don't do that.
I'm tired as hell, man.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Ed, Cajun, y'all have a good night, man. I'm out.
All right, thanks, Nate. You have a good
I'll be
evening,
in the
buddy.
chat for a little bit.
Okay, we'll be here.
All right.
But
Hey Kevin.
but
Ben.
yeah, I was actually looking to possibly do a little bit of a live stream last night from the tractor poles, but if I sit my phone down like in my truck or on my truck, I get like one or two little bars, but as soon as I pick it up or touch it, it drops down to one bar or no service. So, yeah. All right, John, you take it easy, buddy. I appreciate you being in here.
Take care, John.
But as of right now, so we won't be having any live streams from the tractor pull. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my phone, because there's other people down there that I see using their phone continuously, and I don't know what service they have, but it's not what I have. It's not Spectrum. So
Are they doing a live or are they just recording?
they're recording, they're talking on their phone, they're texting. Heck, I seen one lady last night. She was walking all over the place talking to somebody on the phone, and I'm like, damn, I can't even, move my phone without losing service.
If they're just recording, like making a video to put up later, when they get home or whatever. I don't know if they were live or just making a video.
Most of the people are probably just taking pictures or taking video. They're not uploading them stuff.
Hey, Mark.
But like I said, I do see people walking around actually talking on their phone and texting and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I can't win for losing. How in the heck I can't even get a decent enough signal to check my email or whatever,
Yeah.
All right, Ben, thank you for stopping in for a little bit there, bud. I do appreciate it.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. I thought I seen you in there, but I wasn't sure. But I want to find some deer hunting land down there. Because them deer down there are not afraid of people or traffic. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What's that?
Where Jeff's at?
No, down by where I pull at.
Oh, okay.
Because 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm driving down the road, and there's 3 or 4 deer standing right at the edge of the road eating grass. They're not even paying attention to traffic driving by.
Right. It's like that down here. But boy, when hunting season shows up, look out. And you just sweep and hold up a broomstick. They run it. Mm-hmm. Hey, Willie.
Hey. Well, sorry, that doesn't look good.
But yeah, on my way home last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, the one town I go through, it's a fairly decent sized town. There's 3 deer walking right across Main Street, hopped up a wall that's like 3 foot high, and was eating grass at this building that's right in downtown. And there's a bar right around the corner that had music playing.
Who was that had some deer at their house in Texas? That was wasn't and Jamie.
Hi, Adam.
Bunchy.
Hmm.
Didn't she have deer right across that fence from y'all, or
Yeah, yeah,
right
right
off
in
of
her,
property there? Yeah.
yeah, right in her backyard. But them things weren't no bigger than a German Shepherd.
That's not
But
deer. Not down here. Unless you get up north Louisiana, they get bigger. But down here, the deer are smaller, and they got to walk that marsh. You know, that soft,
Yeah.
soft stuff. You know, like the Everglades. You know, you
Yeah.
compare that to the marsh here.
But everyone, I didn't see any with antlers, but all the ones I seen last night were fairly good sized deer. You know, and the ones that were in the downtown is what kind of like freaked me out, because I seen movement going in between parked cars. I kind of looked over, and it's 3 deer hopping up this wall, and they stopped because I got stopped at a stoplight, and I looked over. They hopped up on this little wall, this big green grassy area, and they're just sitting there eating grass. And I'm like, there's like a bar right around the corner, like 3 doors down, you know, half a block down, just blaring music, and they're sitting there eating grass. And I'm like, damn, I need to find me some hunting land down here, y'all.
Well, like I said, come hunting season, that's it.
I thought you were accustomed to having the deer close by, considering Mark has a pet practically.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to that. I think that one's still down there.
It did come back after hunting season. I don't know how long that's going to be.
Yeah.
I know that. And then he hasn't talked much.
Well, his boy actually built a house down there on that property he was clearing off for his place. Because he bought the house right there by where he was living. He couldn't pass the deal up on that house. It was half the cost of building a house. So, but his oldest boy that lives right there by them, him and his wife and a couple kids, they wanted some land. They wanted to get out of where they were at, and he's like, "Yeah, let's just finish this one off and get you a house down there." So that's what they did.
The funny thing is with expensive buying new materials versus old, stuff's expensive nowadays. And to be honest, I think materials and houses that are 100 years old are probably better than ones 20 years old.
Well, they bought a prefab, one of the modular houses. It's a really nice place, but yeah, it's a whole hell of a lot better than where they were living. You know, just got them.
As for deer on the mountain by me, there's a bunch of steps. So like terraces, you'll have a high spot, and then it'll drop steep, and it'll flatten out a little bit, and then it'll drop a little bit, flatten out a little bit. So my property is on a combination of 2 different terraces. We have the apple trees and a pond on one line, and we have our houses up on the higher one. We have the field below our house, so I could go out and see deer every day. I think the most I've seen was probably 8 in one gathering, but it's not necessarily the same gathering that passes by. You might have one group following after another group, and they'll go one direction at one time of the day, and then the other direction another time of the day.
Well, right between my place and my neighbor to the east, especially in the wintertime, you can see it. It's like a highway of deer coming up through, but they're always coming through at night. I very seldom ever see them coming through like in the mornings or during the day. But in the wintertime, there's hundreds and hundreds of tracks going straight, coming kind of diagonally across his yard, and then right up between our house, you can see where they cross the road and go into the woods right across the street from us. So, but he hunts deer, but he won't hunt in his backyard because he's lived here 40 some years. And he said at one point in time, we never had any deer around here. Hey, Mud Digger. Hey, Scott. How you doing? Renegade's Garage.
Hey, Scott.
But so yeah, now the neighbor on the other side, his kids, they'll go out and sit and wait for try to deer hunt, but there's never any deer over on their side that I've ever seen. Yeah, Scott says deer all over his neighborhood. Yep, but hell, the one night,
one time.
Well, the one night coming home from the polls, it's been probably 4 polls before, like 6 or 8 weeks ago. I counted between 13 and 17 deer on the way home. And they were all just right along the road, weren't like crossing the road or trying to run out in front of you or anything like that. The first couple, I'm like slowed way down, and they just kind of stopped, looked at me, and I drove by, and they put their head back down and started eating again. I'm like, hell, deer down here must be really happy because the deer up here, they're like, oh, car, jump out.
There's so many weeds probably on the side of the highways nowadays, especially with all the rain we had earlier this year.
Yep.
Let's mess up that guy's fender in front end.
Yeah.
That's what them deer say. What's up, deer?
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
So. Oh yeah, up in Manitoba. Yeah, there are lots of deer up there.
Now, one thing that saved me a couple times is when you see one deer, there's usually another one coming.
Yeah, and I've got a couple places on my way to work in the mornings that's where they usually cross at, and usually if I see one on either side of the road, yep.
I used to live across from a hunting club, all that property and stuff. It was, cornfields and all that, but there was a camp there, hunting club, and they had blinds set up all over. I was an honorary member of the club, but I would watch deer all the time, and I could pick and choose which stand I wanted on that one by the railroad tracks, and I'd get a couple deer a year for my freezer. Nothing for antlers. You can't eat them things. So
right.
I just hunt for meat, and that was it.
Well, I think this fall I'm going to put out some squirrel and bird food. Put a little sign up that says this is not for deer. Deer don't eat this. This is for the squirrels and the birds.
Mm-hmm. They'll come around.
My grandfather said for the longest time, and I don't know if this is going to be the case everywhere you go, but he said if you dig a hole 3 or 4 feet down, usually within a day or two it'll be attracting deer. I guess they come for the bugs or something.
I knew guys that used to, they would dig down about 4 foot or so and put a salt block down there and take a heavy cardboard tube and stick it down on top of it and then backfill that hole. And the deer would literally dig down to get to the salt.
Really?
Yeah. And you got to use a cardboard tube that'll, get soft and they can dig through. You can't use plastic or anything. But they're trying to get the mineral. Well, they use the mineral lick, not the salt lick, but same thing. But they're trying to get down to those minerals. And he said he's seen them. A couple guys are like, I've seen them 6 foot deep. Getting down in there and digging to it.
So just go down there and go down there and break the neck, and you got some meat for the freezer.
Well, and that's they put them in well-traveled areas that they like to put stands up in, because you're not allowed baiting deer or putting stuff out during deer season.
Right.
But if you do it in the spring, it's there all summer. They get used to being there.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but we used to have a cabin down south of here, about 45 minutes probably from where I live at now, and there was actually natural salt veins down in that area, relatively close to the surface. And there would be places 10 feet wide that were, kind of down in, and you could see where the deer go down in, and all kinds of animals go down in to get that salt and stuff. Well, that sucks, Jeff. There used to be a big monster buck in my area that nobody would shoot just because he was big, and they were wanting him to breed with the other does and stuff in the area to get some more big deer.
How do they have any game commission rules for pet deer like that? If you're allowed to put a vest on them or a hat or something, I suppose it'd be interfering or something.
Yeah, I think it would be interfering. I know there was a farmer down by close to where our cabin was at that had Guernsey cows, and every year around deer season he would take orange spray paint and spray paint the sides of them and write cow on the side of them.
What, because they were the same color as a deer?
Yeah, and they used to have a lot of city people, big city people, come down to hunt. And
Boy, if they ever got caught doing that, they'd be fined tens of thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because usually, if they take out a bull, they'll fine you for every cow that bull probably would have produced in its lifetime.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He would lose a cow, but he wouldn't find him for 3 or 4 days. So it's wasted meat. He said if I would find it when they shot it, he said, yeah, I lost a cow, but I got meat. But when it's been 3 or 4 days, there's nothing I can do with it. I've totally lost a cow. So
Right on.
And he said I can't keep 200 head of cattle locked up for 2 months during deer season. He said that's just not practical. So they would spray paint the sides of the cow, and I mean it was funny when you're driving down this back road, and all of a sudden you look over in a field and there's 20 cows over there. It has a big bright orange patch that says cow on the side. It's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, you can go to prison for that too. Illegally taking a cow.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't my uncle, but he was older than me, so we called him Uncle Nonk. Him and my other uncle, my real uncle, they were hunting deer. Deer, but they were hunting at night. Or was it the daytime? I forgot. Anyway, my so-called uncle got a cow, and they confessed. I mean, there was a mistake. They went up to the farmer, and he had called the cops because he heard gunfire. They were trespassing. So, but he was like, "Oh, okay, well, no problem." But the cops took it over. The case. The farmer didn't press charges, but the cop did. The parish. He illegally killed a cow. And
that's pretty serious. You should be able to identify your target. If you can't identify your target, you shouldn't be shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
That's more than just, I shot a cow by accident. It's like, I wasn't practicing safe gun control.
Well, when I was real young, 10, 12 years old, I can remember my uncle telling the story that he was at a check-in station one time checking his deer in when he used to have to do it in person. There was a guy there that was checking in a goat, or trying to check in a goat.
Really?
What, the greatest of all time?
Yeah.
The greatest of all time hunter, huh? Goat hunter.
Had it in the trunk of a car. And I guess he still had his hunting gear on, and this guy was proud that he finally got his first deer, and and the guy went out to tag it, and he's like, dude, that's not a deer. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a nice little doe. He's like, no, that's a goat, man. And the guy wanted to argue with him, and they actually ended up calling the game warden, I guess, and the game warden come up, and he don't know what happened after that because he left. He didn't want to be any part of that, but. Yeah,
some stories are stranger than fiction. That's pretty good.
First guy, apparently it was the first time the guy was deer hunting, and which I can kind of see. You get the right goat, would kind of look like a deer, a small deer, but
especially out in like Florida or something like that, they don't get much bigger than a goat.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, it is amazing how some people actually get a hunting license. But it's strange that, all this stuff you have to have license for, having kids, you don't have to. Yeah. And look at some of these people that are hunting, and you're going to let them reproduce unchecked.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine how much we'd be overrun with deer if we didn't have deer hunting season.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I have no, I have no,
I
I
work
have
with a
no.
farmer, and they actually set up certain times of the year where they have a hunter come in that comes in, takes care of the deer, coyotes, and what was the other one? I think he might take groundhogs out. I think there was 3 different animals that farmer just says, "Have at it, get them all."
Well, I worked at a country club with a really nice big golf course, and they had license throughout the year to have bow hunters come in and actually thin the population, because they had lots and lots of oak trees, and the deer would literally come in and just destroy uh, the fairways and stuff, digging up the acorns and stuff that the squirrels had buried.
Okay.
You know,
I was more or less thinking of the oak trees, the browse line, what they call the browse line, where the deer, they actually stand up on their hind legs and they get in the green leaves and stuff. You can actually look to see, and it's all perfectly even just about.
Yeah.
And man, this is a good, good area for deer right here.
Yeah, they.
Now, one thing that's really neat is how the guy catches. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't.
Well, the reason they had a lot of squirrels there, but the squirrels like the edges of the greens and the fairways because it's so soft they can bury their nuts and stuff real easy, and that's the deer know where they bury them at, and they go up and they'll tear up the edges of the greens and everything else and walk across the greens, and so.
Side note, kind of sucked to clean up after an oak tree on fairgrounds like that because they drop branches all year long.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bunch of them here. Even the maples will do that to a certain degree. There's always branches underneath them. I have good gator blades. I just mow open.
Well, this place actually had a vacuum. About once a week they go out, and it was just a big. It looked like your lawnmower vacuum, but it was like on steroids. And this thing would if it was on the ground, it would suck it up. We actually had one green that they had re-sodded in the spring, and you couldn't run the thing across it because it would actually suck the sod right up off the ground.
What was it? Powered by the mower itself, or was it its own self-powered piece?
It was on the back of a big tractor, and it was PTO powered.
Oh, so that probably had one of those big, like 15-inch impellers, like they use for the street cleanups.
It was like a 36 or 40-inch impeller that ran horizontal on the bottom, and it sucked everything up, mulched it, and blew it into the box.
Yeah. I've seen some big, huge leaf units that they use for clean up the streets in cities. They're gigantic, and the noise they make is kind of intimidating, especially when they get loaded up with all that dirt. It's like they make the street vacuums sound like toys.
Yeah, well, this thing here, I mean, you would about half three-quarter throttle, you'd ease the clutch out and get it spinning, and then when you disengaged it, that thing would run for probably 2 minutes just winding down. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Mater, how you doing? Mater said dinner is done and Twisted won't touch it. Okay. Twisted.
Wait, I thought he eats all the time. He eats anything.
Probably pasta cooked in a crock pot.
Probably.
Mark won't eat nothing cooked in a crock pot.
No, he won't.
Oh, that.
So I just actually used my crock pot earlier this week. I made chicken and stuffing. I was going to be real busy for a couple of days right after work, so I threw it in, and it was done when I got home that day for work. Had some then, had some the next day, and the next day for supper. So
me and Missy made in fact, I put a video out today on it. Monkey bread pizza, or pizza monkey bread. Biscuits and a bundt cake pan with the thing in the middle of it.
Bunt pan. Bunt, yeah. Bunt.
Bunt pan had a half a pound of pepperoni all together in it. Not quite a half a pound of Italian sausage without the boudin casing. It was Italian pork, ground pork, Italian seasonings, ground meat, and then all the other stuff: onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, hatch peppers in season. So we're getting them cheap, $1 a pound. Yeah, and I bought some last week for $2 a pound. $1 ain't gonna kill me. Anyway, man, that was a good monkey bread pizza. It's still good. I got some in the refrigerator. 6 different kind of cheeses. Yeah, Missy went all out on that.
Yeah, I seen the pop up for the ad, and I got it in my watch later. I just haven't had time to.
Gotcha.
Hey, Kane, but I will watch it because it's cooking video, and Cajun cooks well, so we will be watching it probably after.
It was me and Missy though.
Wow,
It wasn't just me.
you know what I'm saying?
Kane, yeah, come on, you know the deal, Kane. Come on, man, yeah.
Kane is the deal, man.
That's it.
So, but so yeah, we had a pretty good week this past week, other than the tires on the tugger. I'm loving the new grease gun. It's awesome.
You buy a battery gun?
Yeah, I got the Hercules. They had the deal is not there no more, but when I bought it, the deal was on. $99 for a 5 amp hour battery and a charger, and you get a free tool. And the if you buy the battery and the charger separately, it was $100 and I think. Well, I looked it up again. I was wrong in the video. It's like $130 for the starter kit, and the grease gun was $140 some. So for $99, I saved a couple $100.
Yeah, I caught
it was
that
like
on your
$250
stream. I was
all
watching
together,
that.
and it was,
That's a really good deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
So-
a good deal.
But yeah, for the 5 amp hour battery alone, man, you know, that's a good deal for $99. And
Well,
so now
What
So now
voltage was that?
20 volt.
Oh, boy, that thing would go all day, not all week.
I bought it. I wanted the battery alone just for the little fan I got that I take to the tractor pulls when it's hot. Because I've got the 2.5 amp hour batteries, and on a medium to medium low setting, which is plenty of breeze, you know.
I think I've seen a couple people using those electric stills.
Yeah.
Cool thing,
That one battery will last like 5 hours. So 5 amp hour battery, I could turn it up to medium high, and get cooled down.
I actually just bought a battery fan not that long ago. Since I got a new truck, I needed something to run a fan when I was sleeping in the back of it. A little battery operated fan. I think this thing's like 5,000 milliamp hour.
Yeah.
Supposed to run on low for like 20 hours. Kind of curious how that's going to work. But yeah, battery technology has come a long ways as for fans.
Oh yeah.
I never would imagine batteries lasting
Oh, yeah.
30 plus hours.
Yep.
10 years ago.
No. Well, and I just got an email Thursday or Friday from a company or an Amazon seller, which I get all the time for jewelry and all kinds of, do a video for us and we'll give you free merchandise, women's clothing, women's jewelry, I'm like, you said you watch my channel. How does that align with my channel?
Yeah,
I don't think
No women around here, bro.
But I did get an interesting one like I think Thursday or Friday. A cordless tire inflator. And I've actually looked at that brand before because I've been looking for something just to throw in the truck for the tractor pulls and stuff. They're wanting me to test one out and do a review on it, so I sent them back an email saying, yeah, I'd be interested in trying one out and doing a video on it. So
Sometimes they'll do that before they can put something on Amazon because you got to have a video ad.
well, this thing has actually been on Amazon for a couple years now, because, like I said, I've looked at this particular brand. I've looked at it's one of the it's one of the few that actually do a low pressure. 3 to 5 pound. Most of them, range 12 to 250 pound psi. And
Yeah, it took me a while to find a gauge for my garden tractors because like you go out to the store and everything starts at 10.
Mm-hmm. I actually bought one at Harbor Freight that goes down to it's supposed to go to 0, but because we run between 7 and 12 pounds of pressure depending on the track conditions, and it's fairly accurate right in that area.
Something I saw that was really cool for a carry around thing is there's this guy on TikTok, Kentucky Live. He's actually been over to our house as a guest before. Went with my brother out to Burnout Nationals in Orange County, New York. They actually have this little box thing. It's like no bigger than like a lunchbox kind of size thing, and it's got a jack built into it.
Oh.
Pretty wild. He was jacking cars up with it and everything. I think it had an air pump too. Some of the stuff out there for car stuff or emergency kit stuff is pretty neat. Air pumps have gotten a lot better than what they used to be. I mean, nowadays you just set your PSI and press a button and wait 5 minutes or less. You're done.
Yeah. Well, I've got the Milwaukee one, the bigger Milwaukee one at work, and I've used it before, and it's awesome. I love it, but I can't justify spending $200 on a tire pump that I use for my pulling tractors. If somebody wants to send me one to try and use, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I've priced a few, and I didn't want to spend $150 on a good one. But I see a lot of cheaper ones are like China knockoffs, different kinds of versions are coming up now. I guess they're gaining in popularity since the batteries are out there now.
Mm-hmm. Well, my buddy's got the Ryobi one. It looks like it's like a pistol grip style. I've used it a couple times, and it's awesome. I like it a lot.
I've actually seen Project Farms videos on air pumps and tire inflators, different things like that, and the grease guns too.
Yep. And I would buy one of the Ryobi ones, but again, I don't want another battery platform, especially for something like that I'm only going to use a little bit during the summertime.
I try to stick with the Simplicity and Craftsman. Some people, it's like, hey, I have a small frame. It's like, I don't have any implements for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ed, did you get your little adapter yet? Converter cable thing? Yes,
I got it in the mail the first of the week. I haven't tried it out yet. I just haven't had time, but it looks like it's going to do the job.
Man, I was sleeping last time when you went live.
Yeah.
I was in the bed. Missy said something about, thanks to Cajun off. She said, what's he thanking you for? You sent him something? I said, no, but I'm fixing to. She said, then I'll watch the video later, the stream later.
Yeah.
The next day. So you already ordered one?
Yeah, I actually got it the next day.
Oh, wow.
I ordered it that night right there while we were on the stream, and it come the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, Mater, I've actually got an old one, 12 volt that plugs into a cigarette lighter. I wanted a self-contained unit. That way, I can just throw it in the back of the truck and, go to the tractor. Right now I've got an old propane bottle that I've taken apart and took the filler valve thing out, that don't let the regulator, I guess they call it
overflow.
Yeah. Took all that stuff out and put a regular valve and a regular air hose chuck on it. Works great. It's got a valve or got a gauge on it and all that kind of stuff.
I did the same thing. I had an aluminum tank. You couldn't get any valve for it because it was outdated tank. and we just stuck a pipe fitting in it with a regular air hose, like quick connect, and then a straighter valve on the side of that.
Yeah.
Hook up to a.
Well, I actually took the propane. This is one of the older style propane bottles. I took the because it didn't have the external threads; it had the internal threads on it. I took that valve out and took all the junk off the inside, threaded it back in, put a pipe nipple in there, and it's got a gauge. And I just have a ball valve with 2 male adapters on it. I plug it into the quick connect and then plug my air hose into it, turn the ball valve on. It fills the tank up, shut the ball valve off, shut the valve off in the tank. And that thing holds pressure forever. It's a pain in the butt to haul around all the time. In my old truck, it wasn't bad because I would just put it in the corner of the bed and, I had a little strap that held it. The new truck with the tonneau cover, it's just high enough that I can't shut the tonneau cover, the fiberglass tonneau cover.
Yeah, you could probably take the sawzall to the top of it, or is that already off?
I just lay it down on its side. It ain't no big deal.
Make a little cradle out of wood. One little cradle for it. That way it won't roll all over the place.
Well, Kane, the propane tanks are rated over 350 psi just for the safety valve. So air compressor PSI is more near that.
Well, I only take it up to 100, if that, because I'm only airing up to, it's just for the tractor tires. So, as long as I've got 40 pounds in there, it'll never, even out. So
the nice thing is even if you run out of air, you take a small percentage out of the other 3 to fill the one that's going down.
Yeah. Well, and the other funny thing is it still smells like propane. I haven't
so bad water for days to get that smell out.
I actually flushed that
smell.
I actually flushed that tank out with water like 5 or 6 times and had the tank open to the atmosphere for like a week, and it didn't smell like it when I put it together. But now you air it up, and you air it up, and when you
what Briggs got there?
This is a weird one.
A Walmart Hyper Tough.
Yeah, but this is a weird one. You would think this is cordless, right?
Impact. Well, yeah, it looks cordless.
Blowing up air mattresses, but it plugs into a cigarette lighter.
Oh hell!
That would fool most people.
But it is cordless, correct? You're just charging the battery.
No, that's how it gets its juice. It's in a battery. That's how it blows up. You got to hook it to a cigarette lighter.
It does take it will take a 12-volt battery though. Okay, or 14.
Yeah, but I've never found one for it.
Damn, air match. Yeah, air inflator. Go ahead.
It's like they had an idea but didn't follow through.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Actually, DeWalt at one point in time had one of those adapters for drills. You plugged it into the drill and it would work off 110.
Oh, what really? Oh, it was a converter.
I've seen someone testing it. I don't remember who tested them.
12 volts or 14 volts or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 2 plugs though. I've never seen batteries with only 2 plugs in like that.
Because anything for your car, car radio is actually 14 volts. You can actually go to 15 volts without hurting the radio, or 15.5 volts without hurting the radio. Because all the parts in there are meant for 20 volts.
Yeah, but this is way back in the when cordless tools first started coming out.
I like that thing he had right there. I like that for air mattresses. Go to the swimming pool or something. Oh, we ain't got no pump. Oh, okay, wait, I got some. Psh.
Hey, quick tip.
Wait a minute. Oh. Wait a minute. Briggs is a truck driver and he has an inflator. Is that for your girlfriend there, Briggs?
No, I use this for the air mattresses in my niece's swimming pool.
Yeah, he just got back from Florida. He just did get back from Florida. He was there night before last, Friday night and yesterday.
You got to admit, Briggs, you walked into that one, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hey, put it this way, I haven't even been off the plane 20 minutes. I had to go get my favorite sub shop because they don't. The sub shops in Florida suck.
Oh, I thought that was a 50 whiskey or 50 wine. You know, your favorite adult beverage, Capri Sun or something.
The nice thing about those air pumps, like like the 4D battery pumps, or even the plug-in the cigarette lighter mattress inflators, usually they have a little hole on the inlet. You can put that up against a nozzle and deflate the beds too.
Mm-hmm.
Vacuums them right flat.
Oh yeah, you can with this too, right there. It's got this comes off.
Yeah, the little
I got all kind of different tips on it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, the little 12-volt air pump that I have, I won that at a tractor pull probably 25 years ago, and I've carried it in all my trucks that I've had. It's got a really nice long cord. It's just you have to take the tractor up close enough to plug it into the cigarette lighter to use it, and sometimes it's just a pain in the butt. So that's why I would like to get, well, hopefully getting a cordless one. I've been kind of waiting to see if Hercules came out with one because I already have the batteries for it, but this one is a self-contained unit. It's got the internal battery on it. So, and I've looked at the reviews, and there's like 3,000 reviews on it. It's good. It goes down to like 3 PSI accurately. So,
hey, Ed, I want to talk to you about some recipes. I saw the reply on that. Said you're up for that. Remember when I talked to you about those cinnamon rolls in the waffle maker?
mm-hmm.
Cinnamon rolls were a little bit kind of like floury kind of tasting.
Yeah.
So I tried. I had tons of pancake mix lying around. I even bought some good stuff to see if there was a big difference. Let me tell you what, the free pancake mix isn't quite as good as the good quality pancake mix.
Yeah.
But I've been experimenting. I'll send you the recipe on the waffle mix, but I also wanted to find like a cinnamon sauce to put on it. So I actually searched on YouTube and found one that works really good, where it's a cup of raw sugar. I just use brown sugar, a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. If you read the comments, which is really cool, you'll get a lot of different suggestions, like add to on those recipe videos. And one person suggested ginger and nutmeg. I use ginger cloves, just a hint of ginger cloves and nutmeg in it. It's really good, and it actually stayed dissolved. It didn't have that gritty texture to it. Like when I tried another one with milk and butter, it wasn't the same as this water with butter.
And you got a video out on that?
Nah, I'm not going to do a video on that because I don't do that kind of stuff. But I'll send. If you search cinnamon sauce on YouTube, you'll see the video. There's only one.
And what is it?
Cinnamon sauce.
Cinnamon sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Gotcha.
If you look on YouTube, there's like one video. It'll be right on top. And as for waffle mix out of the pancake mix, I don't use water. I found a video where the guy suggested milk. It was like night and day difference having milk in the pancake mix instead of water. I'll send that information to Ed in his next cooking video. I'll get that in the comment below. That way you don't have to take notes or anything like that.
Any Bisquick or Pioneer? Pioneer makes a good baking mix, that's already put together. Milk is absolutely preferred over water, like you just, oh yeah.
Well, the only problem with using milk in any recipes that I do is I don't stock milk in the house. I don't drink milk.
Use that shelf queen milk, in that little box. It's real milk, but it's ultra pasteurized or something. And when they seal it, they do something, and then you put it on the shelf in the pantry. Now, once you open it, you got to refrigerate it, if I'm not mistaken.
I use half and half instead of milk. Half and half works great on pancakes.
I don't, like I said, I don't keep milk in the house. I drink chocolate milk every once in a blue moon.
Well, you use chocolate milk, chocolate pancakes.
I just usually buy a little bottle of chocolate milk when I get the craving.
Or if you want to make something, just buy a little, 16 ounces in the store, in any convenience store or grocery store, little bitty one. And that way you use it, almost all of it. You ain't got nothing that's wasted. And they
Well,
cheap. You know, it's like 80 cents down here for a little bottle of it. It's way cheaper than water.
Yeah, I used to buy milk and freeze it and all that kind of stuff for recipes and that. I've never been a big milk drinker my whole entire life. I just I don't care for the taste of white milk, especially like 2%.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. I gotta have whole milk, me.
yeah, and that's the chocolate milk I buy. I buy whole chocolate
Whole
milk. I like.
Mhm.
That's hard
I
to find by me for some reason.
I get my milk in a glass jar.
The Choco is the only ones I make a whole milk, and then I don't think most of the True Mill I find is 2% or skim.
I hate that.
yeah, the one
And forget the Nesquik. That's just
well, the one budget grocery store I go to, their gallons of chocolate milk are the 2%, but the half gallons are the full, whole milk. So every once in a while, I will buy a half a gallon, and that's usually when I'm really in a mood for, chocolate milk, and I'll usually drink that whole half gallon in like a day and a half.
Pork chops, $1.27 a pound.
Yeah, that's
Can't beat
good
that
price.
with a stick. Hatch peppers, 97 cents. That's in New Mexico, but I've got a sticker on mine that says Old Mexico. 97. That's hatch peppers. That's a craze nowadays. Hatch peppers. It's a big thing in the last couple of years. It's been a big, huge thing that's been going around. All over. Not just Southwest down there.
Well, I actually bought. It was a 3-pack of seasoned quarter chickens. The leg and thigh and all that kind of stuff. There's a 3-pack, and they were 89 cents a pound, something like that.
Wow.
So I'm gonna be growing those up probably tomorrow or Tuesday. And,
yeah. My garden this year kind of blew up in a bad way. We had like 6 or 8 zucchini plants. They all got eaten and killed within a week.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Only plant that squash plant that survived was the acorn squash plant. We got one
What the hell
acorn
happened?
squash growing. I don't know. We've never had it happen before. I don't know if maybe a baby rabbit ate them up.
Right.
Or
Good
if a
night,
deer
Lisa.
got in there. And our pepper plants, we had tons and tons of rain. Then we had no rain. They yellowed, and it took a while for them to recover. And a lot of the bugs are eating the leaves on the pepper plants.
Sure as bugs and not a tomato worm,
I haven't seen
corn
one.
worm. Okay. Well, you won't. He's green,
I have that leaf
same
bulb
color
down
as
there,
the
so I haven't seen any slugs or worms or anything. The worms are underground. They're not
If
on
it's
top
just
of it.
got holes in the leaves, you're fine. But if you find the whole leaves are disappearing and the stems, look for that worm. He's going to be hiding. He's camouflage.
Well, I had something weird. I was doing my cooking video tonight, and I'll let you know. I was using the little baby potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever had those blow up in the oven?
Microwave
I've heard
oven or
about it.
regular oven?
Regular oven.
It's not a common occurrence. I remember seeing it somewhere on YouTube about potatoes blowing. When they blow up, they go off with a pretty good bang, like an egg.
Yeah.
No,
I literally was walking into the kitchen because the timer went off because I baked them, and I opened up the oven, opened the door up, reached in with the hot mitt, and started pulling the pan out, and 2 of them suckers literally explode. I mean, nothing left of the potato.
Wow.
Blew up, and I'm like, "What the?" I mean, it was stuck to my shirt and my glasses, and I'm like,
At least
what
you have your
the-
beard for insulation.
"Yeah." I'm like,
Never
"What?"
had that. No,
And
not me.
only two of them. So I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So of course, like Willie said, go on YouTube. But yeah, they're.
Really?
I mean, and it's not just the little potatoes. It's like full size potatoes. People, are baking them in the oven, not wrapped in aluminum foil, and they are literally just.
Oh, yeah.
I happened
Just
across that. I
always
think when I was looking for
snap 'em.
microwaving marshmallows and saw don't microwave potatoes because they can blow up.
No,
Yeah.
I do big 1 pound baked potatoes in the
Mhm.
microwave, but I stab them with a fork, and then I wash them naturally, and the skin's wet, and I wrap them in a paper towel, and then I fold it so it's wrapped, and it's I have a baked potato setting on my microwave. It's only thing like 6
Mhm.
minutes and 20 seconds. But anyway, I turn the potato about 3 times during that baking time, 6 minutes. Every 2 minutes, I'll turn it. But I've never had one blow up, but I'll also stab it with a fork, like I say, a million times.
Well,
Oh.
that's. I'm thinking maybe that's what it was. I didn't wrap these or anything. I didn't.
But I
poke
never
them.
wrapped God dog it, stabbed the potato in a regular oven. I don't think
Yeah.
I have anyway.
I mean, I thought maybe there was something wrong with the potatoes when I first, and it was just as I was pulling it out of the
Ooh.
oven. I don't know if it was the jarring of the pan or what that made them pop or what, but yeah, it literally went pop and blew up.
That's a little new potatoes right there. Little
Yeah.
Irish potatoes, little new potatoes. Oh, I love it. We love them over here. I used
Yeah,
to grow them all the time in the winter.
Only saw a mental note if I ever put potatoes in an oven to stab them.
Well, my sister was busy all weekend making homemade sourdough bread.
Oh wow, yeah, I love sourdough bread.
She
Yeah,
gave
and
me
it's a
2
bowl
loaves.
of it too, yeah.
I was eating it on the plane, pulling chunks off, eating on the plane. Watching for the stewardess. They're like, "Where'd you get the food?" Oh, well, we got potato chips here. Well, I don't want your potato chips. Yeah, but that's just plain bread. Oh well.
Yeah, and airplanes serve Eagle potato chips. When I used to fly, they had Eagle potato chips.
Oh, they had regular potato chips, but they give you a little tiny bag that's like that.
What was
like
the brand
8
name?
Oh, it was Weiss, but they had Weiss, Lay's, they had a bunch of them, but
Oh,
to sit there for a bag that's like 3 ounces and they had the gall to sit there and say $9, or a can of Coke was like $7.50. It's like,
damn, I used to pay $2.50 for a mixed drink on the airplane. Mixed drink,
You're paying for the shipping.
$2.50.
yeah, but what century was that, Cajun? The Wright brothers?
That was back in I want to 95.
That was probably the last time Ed got on a plane or went near one.
So I've never flown on a plane, but yeah, I got hooked on the little potatoes after a buddy of mine put in a couple dozen potato plants, and he was growing them in buckets. And apparently, when you grow them in buckets, they will only get so big.
Yep. I know that.
Yeah, they only grow to the size of the container that you have. And so all his potato plants, instead of producing nice big baking potatoes like he used to have, were all little. He called them thumb size. I mean, there were some that was big as your thumb, some size of a golf ball. He's like, "What am I supposed to do with these?" I'm like, "Eat them. There ain't nothing wrong with them."
Potatoes.
Yeah. So he.
I'm trying to think what my mom does with them. What's she doing? Scalp potatoes.
I took like
they're a lot easier with smaller potatoes than bigger ones.
I took like 6 plants worth of them home and washed them all up, and I ate them. And his wife actually started using them, and she liked them. So the next year he took 55-gallon drums and cut them in half and put 1 plant in each one. So he got his big potatoes like he likes, and then 5-gallon buckets for the other ones, and got the ones his wife started liking and the kids started liking. So all right, y'all.
Fry easy or not?
I buy the Redskin ones all the time, or used to buy the Redskin ones all the time, and they fry up nice. They bake up nice. I use them in roasts and everything else. So
yeah, you can boil them like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got smaller ones in here. I just picked out the largest one. You can boil them like that. Put a little crawfish ball, some Old Bay. Cut them in half, or just kind of make a slit in them. Boil them in water and a little bit of Old Bay seasoning. Man, I mean, you almost got a crab ball right there.
I used to like taking them in the yellow ones, and I'd make up like a foil pack with a little bit of butter and some sea salt, and bake them that way, and just keep turning them so that butter keeps rotating them. They're delicious. So
Yeah,
But,
funny story. Potatoes. This is the first year I planted them, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to turn out. The plants look good. Haven't dug anything up yet.
yeah, I bet you the potato price is going to go up, Tommy. So all right, y'all. It's been over an hour now since we're done talking about potatoes. We're going to end it on that note. Appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out, and we'll catch you all probably next week. So take care.
All right. Appreciate you having me up, Ed. All right, everybody, as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later. A Pluta.
Pluta.